To the people who have negative thoughts about me and what I do doesn't hurt you. It doesn't affect you. I fuck dogs.
Oh my god. What the hell did you just say?
I fuck dogs. And where I do it, it's legal.
The door.
Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother YAHAWAH from GMS St. Petersburg, Florida, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHIM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHIM, RACHAQUADASH. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to continue on with this here, why Esau is the devil, why the so-called white man is the devil. All right. Because we're going through the scriptures and facts and history and things like that point out who exactly the so-called white man is according to the Bible. All right. And he is known as Esau, Edom. That's the nation that he comes out of. He's also known as the wicked. He's also known as the devil. All right. So we're going to pull out some more scriptures and some more facts on this so-called white man that points to him as being who the Bible calls Esau, Edom. All right. So we're going to jump into this here lesson. This one here is dealing with basically some sexual perversion with these Edomites, all right, and showing you that these damn Edomites are who they are according to the scripture. So we're going to start here in the book of Job, chapter 30. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, "But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock." All right, now I'll get back to that. But verse 2, "Yea, whereto might the strength of their hand profit me, in whom old age was perished? For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness and former times desolate and waste." All right. This is going into the history of the so-called white man. All right. Not to get too far off topic from what this lesson is going into, but nevertheless, you know, when you see those Geico commercials when they say it's so easy, a caveman could do it. Then the caveman be walking by and he get all mad. That's some real life shit, because you know how they say, oh, we all come from cavemen. Well, there's some truth to that, you know, but you have to understand who is speaking. All right. The so-called white man, when he say, yeah, we come from cavemen. Yeah, y'all do come from cavemen. You were a caveman. All right. And this is why when you see that Geico commercial and you see the caveman on there, you're like, so easy a caveman could do it. The so-called person, the person that they have depicted as the caveman is the so-called white man. And then he'd be all offended. Right. Because this man is the basis of all men. You know, he's violent in the earth. As a matter of fact, I think it says, yeah, it'll say it in here, but nevertheless, he's the bottom of the barrel, right? And so just imagine like in today with how they have what they call PC or you know, when people get their feelings hurt about certain you saying certain things about them or whatever, whatnot, you know. So the so-called white man is like, oh shit, you know, everybody calling me out because I'm the bottom of the barrel, you know, because he's been on top for so long. But the reality and the truth of it is, homeboy is the goddamn caveman. He's the basest person on the whole face of the earth. All right. And back in those days, he was chased up into the damn caves and into the mountains. All right. Look at his ass now. This is why he's going to be chased off the face of the earth. Just look who he is. All right. Look what he does when he's free and he's ruling over anybody. All right. But going back to Job 30:3, it says, for want and famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness and former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper root for meat. All right. So they were, you know, basically eating roots and stuff like that for their food. All right. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief, to dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. This is where you get this is your history. You wanted to leave from, well, you was chased from among the rest of the men on the face of the earth, living like everybody else was, you know, how we all live on the surface of the earth, right? You was chased out because of your dealings and the ways, just how you are. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the lowest of the low. You was chasing to those damn caves. All right. That's where you was staying at in how do you say, Mount Petra. You know, you can go on YouTube, or you can go on Google search and do an image search of Mount Petra. All right. Now, Mount Petra will give you clear proof that you so-called white people. All right. You so-called Caucasians. This is where the word Caucasian, we'll get on Caucasian, but this is where you so-called Caucasian, you white people, all right, you Edomites come from, all right? Like the scriptures say, let me read this again. Job 30:6, to dwell in the clefts of the rocks, in the caves of the earth and in the rocks. Or Slakia, to dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in the caves of the earth and in the rocks. When you go and you look at Mount Petra, all right, how they carved out of, out the side of this damn mountain, right? They carved out like, what would look like the front of buildings and shit like that. Like you walking up to the front of a building, all right, in the side of this here mountain, all right. But the design of these buildings look exactly like when you go down to Washington, D.C. It looked just like all these courthouses and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much like they got the damn White House and shit carved into the side of the mountain. Now, this was way before America was even thought about. All right. But it's the same people. It's the same shit that's inside their heart. Just like the pyramids in Egypt, right? Well, we know that the Egyptians was ruling Egypt when those pyramids was made, but we was in captivity under them, right? We wound up building those pyramids for them. And now if you look at the design, the shape, and everything with the pyramids and all the mysteries behind the pyramids, what was in you know, the architecture skill that was done, that was put forth by the people who built it. When you fast forward in time in history, and when you look for that same footprint in planet Earth, you see it down there where in the Yucatan Peninsula, here in the United States, where they built these pyramids at and things like that. All these pyramids, they all pretty much have like the same dimensions, just on a different scale size. All right, these things are the same footprint. All right, when you see them over here in the Yucatan Peninsula and stuff like that, those pyramids down there, they got the same dimensions and everything, showing you it's the same people who built the pyramids over there in Egypt, right? So when you go into Mount Petra, right, going back to these so-called white people, when you go look at the design of that and you look at the buildings today, it's the same thing, all right? So showing you this is the so-called white man, all right? Continuing on, it says, verse 7, among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together, right? So they didn't have a real language or anything. You go back and do some history on them. We wound up taking these people into captivity and, like, how do I say, we bettered their life. You know how they say that oh, well, yeah, we enslaved you, but we civilized you. You was nothing but savages. All they doing is hijacking their story and their history, all right, and putting it back on and projecting it on us. Because when we took them in captivity, all right, we gave them baths, we taught them how to bathe, we gave them a language, we taught them how to speak. So the fact that them talking about learn how to speak English, learn how to speak the language, these people didn't even have a language. They was just like when you go back and you look at like depictions of cavemen and shit like that. That's the Edomites, the so-called white man, the people that's on all your money, really, I was gonna say your $1 bill, but all your money. All right, this is the same people who think that they got this thing called white supremacy, thinking they're the best of the best, top of the top. You know, this is just their own how do you say their own depression that's kicking them in their damn ass. So that, you know, they gotta project all this. But continuing on, it says verse 9. And now I am their song, yeah, I am their byword. You know, they over here talk about blackface, coons, jigaboos, moon crickets, niggas, and shit like that. They come up with all kind of different things for us, you know, like the blackface and stuff like that. They picking on us as if we the bottom of the barrel, when really we the top of the top, and they the bottom of the barrel. You know, they not even in the middle, nowhere in the middle, you know, with somebody beneath them that they can be like, you know, I ain't at the top, but at least I ain't at the bottom. That's where these Edomites are at, all right? Verse 10, they abhor me, they flee far from me, they spare not to spit in my face. All right, so these are these damn Edomites. All right, these are these so-called white people. All right, give me a depiction of these people. They was out there in the damn in the caves and in the mountains and things like that, eating out of their grandparents, drinking out of their grandparents' skulls and stuff like that, wearing clothes for so long that the clothes would pretty much deteriorate on their bodies. Lice and lice everywhere, eating lice, just nasty people, man. These are the same damn people. Not to mention, these people, just as nasty as they were living out in the damn caves and stuff like wild animals, they got down like wild animals. All right. So let's go back up to the top. Job 30:1. But now they that are younger than me have me in derision. Talking about these damn Edomites, whose fathers I would not have disdained to set with the flock of my dog. Salakia. Whose fathers I would not have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. All right. So basically, you wouldn't put these people around your damn dogs, right? Why won't you put your people around these damn dogs? Because why? We know the characteristics of these damn people, man. The so-called rumors and stuff about people sleeping with animals and stuff like that. That's predominantly these white people, you know? Not to say that, oh, well, you can't find a so-called black person that don't sleep with animals, but where do these people get it from? All right, yeah, you got so-called homosexuality amongst all the races, but who is the one who started all that? Who is this in a history? All right, when you go back in time and history and things like that, when you go further, you know, you have certain time periods where people are pretty much in a right state of mind, for lack of a better terms. Just like when we first got here in America, we was in a better state of mind, not right now while than when we waking up now, but let's just say maybe 40, 50, 60 years ago, before we knew that we were Israelites, right? When we came over here, when we started coming over here on slave ships, you know what I'm saying? We was somewhat in a better state in the mind mentally. Same way with the so-called Native Americans, the Northern Kingdom. All right. Not saying that they had everything, you know, they saw everything clear. No, that wasn't it. You know, they wouldn't have made friends with the so-called white man when he came over. But nevertheless, they was in a better state, you know, keeping some of their customs back then than they are now. But what? These damn heathen, right? These so-called white people, when you go back to their original states and stuff like that, this is what they was doing. Go back to Rome, Greece. They was what? Pedophiles and sleeping with animals. You know, then they have a so-called time period where they kind of move away from things like that. But what? They come right back to it. It's what's inside of them. All right. So it says, in Job 30:1, it says, but now they that are younger than me have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have sit with the dogs in my flock. All right. Let me get, one more precept, and I'm gonna show some videos here. So this is pretty much all I was gonna read, but I'm gonna show some videos to pretty much back all this here up. All right. It says Leviticus 20:15. It says, if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death. You shall slay the beast. So if a man sleep with an animal, all right, like you hear about these people in this like higher ups in the Illuminati and stuff like that, when you get into like the presidential realms and stuff like that. They talk about sleeping with goats, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Sleeping with cows, sleeping with dogs, all kind of different things like that. These people, mainly it'd be these men that be sleeping with these goats and these cows and shit like that. They'll go over there and they'll wind up plowing the goats, the cows, and the sheep and stuff like that, you know? But continuing on, verse 16, and if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereunto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast, and they shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. All right. Now, you hear about these types of stories as well, too, about women sleeping with animals. All right. Or the animals sleeping with the women. So you'll hear about stories about what? Women being plowed by horses, women being plowed by dogs and things like that. All right. So we're going to get into this a little bit. It says, Leviticus 20:15 and 16. If a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and you shall slay the beast. And if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereunto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So basically, no sleeping with no animals. All right. But we're going to go into Esau Edom and show you why he's the damn devil. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here portion of the video right here. But just stay tuned. I'm going to do some editing or whatever, whatnot. And on the follow up, you're going to see some videos with this here proof. All right. So, and it's not going to be, you're not going to see nothing where you're going to be like, it's not going to actually show no human beings actually sleeping with animals. All right. That's not the type of videos I'm trying to push forth. But nevertheless, we're going to prove this through some video evidence. All right. But stay tuned. You'll see the videos on the flip side. Stay strong. Shalom.
Michael. Surprise.
Green King IPA. Did you say no to another?
Oh, Michael.
The dog was fucking my face. Straddling legs here, stomach here, dick in mouth, and saliva all in my hair.
Alright everybody, so take a look at this. It looks like innocent play between a woman and her dog. But, it's really anything but. Further along in this video, this activity turns carnal. The two engage in intercourse. Now, of course, I'm not going to show this on YouTube, but my particular question when I saw this was, why? Why does she want to do this? Now, this particular type of behavior, by the way, is called xenophilia, and you'd be surprised how common it is. Now, it may surprise you to know that this is actually legal in many countries. Places like Thailand, Mexico, Brazil. It is also legal at a federal level here in the United States. Now, it is illegal in many states, but in many other states, it is perfectly legal. In states like Texas, West Virginia, Nevada, New Mexico, you can go to a pet store, buy yourself a dog, bring it home, and it can become your lover. Now, I have researched this online quite a bit, and the answers seem to be, as to why a woman in particular would do this, is because she is attracted to the animal. That really surprised me. I don't think it's that way for males. I don't think.
It's because you're the devil.
But also for females, it's because it's their way of expressing love and affection. And the other reason is simply because the animal wanted it, and the woman simply gave in. So, it's pretty amazing to me. Now I'm going to show you some names. This is a group of probably the most sensational cases here recently of young women little bit too far. Here, watch. Is that most of these cases involve younger women, early 20s, who are white. Why do you think that is? And
because you're the devil. But even these Edomites is clearly saying that, look, it's what's going on with you white women and these damn animals, all right? Because you're the damn devil.
My other question for you is, have you ever met a woman or anybody else who has done this? And why did they? If you ask them. The forum is here. Comment below. We'll discuss this. And because I think it's fascinating, I want to know what you think.
Deputies are investigating a bizarre and very disturbing case in Albuquerque. A woman is in jail tonight, accused of having sex with 2 dogs and poisoning her roommates. One of those roommates who owns the dogs spoke with KOAT Action 7 News reporter Matt Howerton. She says the whole thing is almost too much to comprehend.
Okay, he sees you. It's hard not to like Spike and Jake. The 2 dogs are like family to their owner, Beverly Bradley. So when you hear that she caught her roommate, Sherry Walters, having sex with one of the dogs, you can imagine how angry she was.
There was no words. I was in total shock.
Court documents say Walters admitted to the disturbing act and said she'd done it many times before. Walters was dating Bradley's brother, who also lives at the home, until he ended it when Walters revealed her disturbing actions.
And he said I could be with somebody like that.
And if you think the story couldn't get any stranger, the day after Beverly says she found Walters having sex with her dogs, court documents say she put rubbing alcohol in both her and her brother's water and put dish soap and toilet bowl cleaner in their food. Her exact words were, she would stop trying to kill you if Jeffrey would be with her.
Yes. That's psycho to me. I don't understand it.
Walters now faces charges of animal cruelty, aggravated battery, and assault. Both of the dogs suffered minor injuries. Bradley says it'll be tough to forgive Walters, but hopes she gets the help she needs.
I hope she gets better. I really do. I want her to have that help.
In Albuquerque, Matt Howerton, KOAT, Action 7 News.
So nasty. Stop it!
Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing my video on 10 reasons why I think women should have sex with dogs. Reason number 1, women in history have practiced it. There have been documented cases of ancient Romans and Greeks practicing it for pleasure. Reason number 2, dogs' tongues can get in very hard to reach places and it can feel amazing. Reason number 3, you cannot get pregnant. It is impossible for a dog to impregnate a human, meaning you can have sex 24/7 risk-free. Reason number 4, you cannot get an STD, which is a huge thing nowadays. if you're allergic to dog sperm, that's the only way it can harm you. There was actually a case in, where was that? I think it was in Europe, of a woman dying from allergic reaction. So, that's just pretty much the only thing that can harm you, is if you're allergic to dog sperm. Reason number 5, it has been around since the beginning of time. There have been cave paintings of it since 2000 BC.
Cave paintings. Wonder why? Because y'all simple red ass was in the caves and you was writing down your history.
So, it's been around a while. Reason number 6, it's legal in some countries and states, so you can enjoy it. Will you stop biting on my skirt? It is, okay, where was I? I think I was on 6. Yeah, it is legal in some countries and states, so you can enjoy it pretty much without worry, other than judgmental people and religious people. That's pretty much all you have to worry about. Reason number 7. Some people like to think of it as a kink. You are fully submissive to a wolf or canine. Some people like to think of it like that. It's something that most people wouldn't do. So some people like to think of it like that. Reason number 8. It's convenient. You don't have to. The dog just right there. You don't have to. You don't have to go out to find sex. It's right there in front of you. It's around you. Right there. The bathroom. Reason number 9. They don't nag or complain. They are silent companions. You a silent companion? Yeah. They are. They're good. Reason number 10. They are easy to train. He is. It's not hard to teach your dog phrases, words, or show them certain objects to initiate sex. This protects you from your dog humping you in front of your family, your friends. Yeah. There's my 10 reasons.
Also, to the people who have negative thoughts about me and what I do doesn't hurt you. It doesn't affect you. I fuck dogs.
Oh my god. What the hell did you just say? Girl.